Hi, this is Dave Swang with What They Think, and with me is Andrew Gunn, who's the Director of Print on Demand Solutions for Fujifilm, North America.
North America, yep. Well, actually, I guess Americas. I've got responsibilities for Latin America as well. So
Okay, so it's the Americas.
Yeah.
That's great. And Canada, too.
And Canada, too, yeah. How about that?
Andrew, we're here at the Fujifilm Innovation Center.
Thanks for making it out.
Yeah, with a very interesting event. You called it the Digital Disruption Reveal event.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I like to go big or go home, right? I'm not ready to go home yet. So this week was all about, like I say, disrupting the status quo. We were at Hong Kong Innovation Days, so I guess about 2-3 weeks ago now, where we talked about the 1160 CFG, which is our continuous feed inkjet, right behind you here. The coattails of that, we've got a launch of 2 new fantastic products in the EPC mid and EPC high space. That's entry production color, which overnight have tripled our digital embellishment capabilities, thus creating the biggest offering in that space. But not just. We're not just shiny stuff here, but it's better for color, better automation, and again, that better return on investment that you can come to expect. Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, speaking of investment and getting better return, the whole embellishment story, again, like I say, tripled overnight. So it is disruptive, right? It is, but as you say, you've got all these disciplines of the print, whether it's CF, whether it's B2 inkjet, whether it's packaging, whether it's wide format. We've got about 4 or 5 different offerings in that wide format and grand format space.
Yep.
And then, of course, the print-on-demand toner-based solutions offering, not even mentioning some of our A3, A4 stuff. So you've got all these different parts that you kind of need to bring together that when brought together, I always use the term, it's not 5 fingers, it's a fist, right? That's the disruption. That's what's going to give that industry a shot in the arm and give it that chance to grow and not just survive, but thrive, if you will, right? So we want to be your trusted disruptors, is what I always say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that makes perfect sense. Print is about value add. It is the value communication. Yeah. It's not emails, which is the low value communication.
Digital fatigue,
yeah. And digital fatigue and delete. Give me something that is going to keep my attention.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, once you have my attention, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier for you to sell me something or tell me a story or get me engaged.
Absolutely. We talked about that earlier today, how it kind of amps up that dwell time that I don't want to put it down. And I saw a stat where, an average embellished piece is going to get a 55 more second engagement than a non-embellished piece does.
Right.
So it certainly does become emotional. It's a visceral feeling that you get when you do see your name in lights, right?
Yeah.
And if I can offer that, not just here on the 1120, but I can bring that and democratize those embellishments and make it accessible to all, why not? Why not disrupt that status quo? And again, I use those terms kind of, interchangeably, but really they're kind of that Lego piece together.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it is, we've often thought of entry-level production, mid-range production as kind of, well, it's just a utilitarian, you print and whatever.
Yeah.
But and when you start looking at where these things are being used and how they're being used, whether it's in an implant or it's in a
commercial printer,
franchise printer, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they can really make hay with the additional capabilities and the value that these things add to the print.
Yeah, I think so, but also, we've launched a program, as we talked about before in the past, called the Aspire program. It's all built around, how do I onboard that? How do I design for it? How do I create applications that customers are going to pay more for? I use the term gaining access to these things. Yes, you want to give the customers access, and when I say the customers, it could be our channel partner, it could be the print buyer, it could be the print provider. But how do you give them access to not just new applications, but new, most importantly, profitable applications? Because at the end of the day, we are in this game of manufacturing a printed widget for money.
Well, it
right?
is.
And,
absolutely. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think that's, historically, and I say we because I was a printer, or, I've been
we're a family.
For years. We've looked at print and what we sell as cost plus, and you can't do that. Yeah. Look, if people are coming to us because there is less value in an email or in a web page, and the real value is in print, then why not give them what they came to us for.
That's right. That's right. So if you've got a bigger menu, you know, I always like to say, walk with a heavy foot. Let them know you're out there. And I think our digital disruption reveal, I think it showed that. What did you think of it? It's more.
I thought it was great. I really did. I thought it was great for a lot. I mean, I'd seen the equipment before because I was at Drupa. And so I knew about it. But what I liked about the event itself is that it wasn't really focused on the equipment. It was focused on the output, if you will, of the equipment and the function and what are we doing with it and how do we do it? How do we teach print service providers to sell and to understand that it's in their best interest to sell it, and it's in the best interest of their customer to sell it too, because they're going to get additional value.
Exactly, and that's going to be part. I mean, we've decided we started this journey, 2.5, 3 years ago. We've been around for a long time, but we really started down this whole path of more offerings to the market and just going direct. And it does feel like we're at the beginnings of something special, and it's I wouldn't say startup, but in that crawl, walk, run phase, we're coming out of the crawl phase and we're into the walk phase, into a fast walk.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So there's so much more that we've got to talk about. We've got we've just come out of Drupa. We had a Hunker Innovation Days, which we got to spend some time together at, and then next up we've got the Amplify event, which is focused on embellishments. I guess it's going to be here. It's going to be here just down the street in Chicago. Yeah. And that's going to be an event or user group almost even of embellishments and all the great stuff there. And I'm saying user group, but I love that event. Yeah. And then we're going to have Printing United. So we're going to continue to walk with a heavy foot, and hopefully you can be. We'll chat more about that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we will.
Nice. Yeah.
Andrew, great seeing you, man.
Thank you.